Welcome to the second race of the race weekend here at Kinnekulle Formula 1000. We had a very exciting race yesterday. What do you think, Richard?
Yeah, such an eventful race yesterday. Lots of overtakes, lots of crashes, and everything went on yesterday. So we're hoping for a little bit more of a clean race today, but great racing to come for sure.
Yeah, I'm certain. Because of the incidents, we have once again a bit of a tumbling in the order, and we have a few key points to talk through. But first, the start grid is as follows. Andreas Gattebo in pole position, and then Linus Stjernelund alongside. Albin Gustafsson in P3, alongside him William Eriksson after a career best finish yesterday. Lionel Score after a recovery drive from P20 on P5, and then Kalle Svensson P6. Pete Norbeck after impressive drive P7, and Oskar Melstig P8 after being demoted to P8 after a penalty that he received from the Christian Lovén incident. 10-second penalty was his penalty. Max Stjernelund P9 after his spin, recovered well to finish P9. William Isaksson alongside in P10. Fredrik Linton P11 after the collision with Gustav Berglund, who will be starting alongside him in P12. Enzo Collin P13, and then Jonathan Olander P14, Sixten Sandgren P15, Selina Hessman P16, Johan Warland P17, Devin Lewis Grabko P18, Agnes Warland P19, and the last couple of positions, Christian Lovén is supposed to be ahead of Devin Grabko, and then Agnes. So Christian on his way to his first podium yesterday. Had that unfortunate collision with Oskar. Oskar ended up receiving a 10-second penalty, which demoted him from P2 to P8 after the fact. So both Oskar, Christian, and Fredrik Berglund, all those will want to make positions up in this race today. So ones to watch definitely.
Yeah, and of course Skattebo taking the victory yesterday. He'll be hoping to keep this momentum up and win this race as well, but some great drivers behind him, so lots of battles.
Yeah, I know the onboard camera should be with Oskar Melstig this race, because we knew he would be hungry and keen to make positions up. Just unfortunate incident with Christian. He was in his blind spot and very focused on Andreas ahead, and unfortunately contact was there because Christian had his wheel there. So
yeah, nothing on purpose.
Nothing on purpose, of course. Just stuff that unfortunately happens in racing. Let's see if the lining up procedure is a bit faster today. The grid boxes here are basically invisible, so first race is always a bit of chaos on the grid before they line up properly. And such was the race yesterday.
Fortunately, the drivers have some help here to figure out where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
A bit different from Formula 1, where you have to navigate yourself, but they have help.
Yeah, and I know the wait for Andreas and Linus in P1, P2. It's not the best feeling to sit there waiting when you want to go, especially if you don't put it into neutral when arriving, just clutch in, because then you have to wait on the clutch. As we see P12 now lining up in the respective places. We never talked about Devin Grabko also. He had the unfortunate incident where he was an innocent victim of Max Stjernelund's spin. Max simply lost the car and lost control, and Devin had nowhere to go and got tagged on the right side. So he had to retire. But now it seems that everyone is basically lined up, so we're ready to go as soon as we can.
Yeah, they're just figuring out the last positions here. Yeah. Some drivers placed in the wrong place here, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, Christian Lovén, such great pace throughout the entire of this weekend, and he'll be starting from P19, that is.
Yeah. Now our 5-second board is out, so we're gonna go racing now for the second time this weekend. The lights out, away we go. Andreas gets a good start, but Lionel gets a better one. He's passed William Eriksson already, and Pete Norbeck is looking at Kalle Svensson, and then Oskar Melstig is having a look as well. Down into turn 2. It's Andreas from Linus, and then Albin Gustafsson, Lionel Score looking at Albin Gustafsson. William Isaksson around the outside of Oskar Melstig, so Oskar actually losing a couple of positions here, I think. Yeah, he's lost out to William Isaksson, who's made a great start so far. Back down the hill they come. Andreas ahead, and then it's Linus, Albin, score. Then we have William Eriksson, Pete Norbeck in P6, made a position up. William Isaksson, and then it's Oskar Mellstig, Kalle Svensson has dropped down, Fredrik Lindholm right behind him, then Max Stjärnelund, Gustav Berglund, Jonathan Nylander, Enzo Collin, and Christian Ovén has made a great start so far. He's made 2 positions up already. Looking down the inside of Sixten Sandgren into the second last corner. So now calm down the start-finish race again.
And the top 3 has quite a gap down to Lionel's score in P4.
Yeah, Linus making a move, Andreas, his teammate. And yeah, Lionel has lost a lot of time to the top 3, so top 3 breaking away at this moment. As there is a bit of grass kicking off. I think that's from William Eriksson. Yes, and there's a bit of contact between Pete Norbeck and William Isaksson. Oskar Mellstig right behind, and there's a car off. I couldn't quite catch who it was. It looked orange. It's
no?
Max Stjärnelund, I think. Linus Stjärnelund is the new leader as well in the meantime. So Andreas Skattebo losing down to P2. And it seems that he's got lacking a bit of grip here in the early stages. Not really confident at the moment. And Lionel trying to catch back up to the top 3. And now there's a group forming in the 4th to basically 15th position behind. Oskar Mellstig stuck behind William at the moment. He will want to rectify that. As they now come down the start-finish race once again. Andreas making a returning move into turn 1. Under the bridge they go. Flat out here, side by side. Andreas is going to make that smooth stick. Linus goes wide. He's on the curve, he's on the grass! He's on the grass! Can he recover the car? He gets it stopped, it seems, yes! But lost a lot there. Oh! And now Lionel is right behind him.
And we're on board with Oskar Mellstig here.
See, can any move be made? Down the hill again. Here the VVT in the engine kicks in. And the extra horsepower gets unleashed. But so far, no more moves. But there's a big group behind. It's only Albin and Skattebo at the front. And then it's Linus, Lionel, William, Pete, Oskar, William, Kalle, Fredrik, Jonathan, Gustav Berglund and Christian Ovén in one single pack. So P3 battle, basically half the field in the same battle. And now we see Albin Gustafsson shaping up a move on Andreas Skattebo. Start-finish race once again.
And now Lionel Score will try to make a move for P3 here.
Yeah. No, he's actually deciding to stay behind, work ahead. Well, he wants the victory instead.
Yeah.
Side by side between Albin and Andreas into turn 1. Lionel stays behind Linus. And Pete Norbeck makes a move around the outside of William Eriksson. Can he make it stick? The outside gives you better power. Can the VVT kick in earlier and get the power down the straight? He has the overlap. Can he make the move? They're still side by side. Down into Molin's corner.
And Oskar Mellstig is inside.
Yeah, Oskar takes opportunity of that, and Pete drops a position instead of gaining one. But they're still side by side, out of Molin's corner. And Pete stays ahead.
Great driving there by Pete to keep Oskar Mellstig behind.
And Christian Ovén goes around the outside of Jonathan Nylander. He wants this podium. We talked about it before. I can't quite count which position he's in because there's so many cars, but in the top 10 I think at the very least. Side by side again, Andreas and Albin Gustafsson down the straight, and Lionel and Linus has caught up again to the top 2. So they're turning into top 4 again. Oskar now making a move on Pete Norbeck in under the tunnel. Will this time around be stick? Pete hangs it around outside, but no. Oskar is past, and then he makes a move at William Eriksson. Can he get past him as well? No, he stays behind. So Oskar making 2 positions up now so far this race. Then we have it 4 groups now for the lead battle. Andreas, and then Albin, and then Linus, and then Lionel Score. And then Oskar Mellstig now started the hunt because he's gotten past William Eriksson. So now he's going to be hunting down. He was the fastest yesterday in both qualifying and the race. It seemed, at least, in the race. So let's see if he can make that time up and catch up to the top 4.
Yeah, we see Oskar Mellstig now in P5, and he has a lot of defending to do, unfortunately. He wants to keep up with the top 5, no, with the top 4.
But William is smart. He slots in behind. Eriksson is smarter. So now they're working ahead. I think Oskar made a little bit of a missed apex there in the TV corner. But now Christian Ovén making another position up on Fredrik Lindholm is now up into P8, I think that is.
And Lionel goes to the inside? No.
No. But Linus goes for the outside on Albin at least. And now we will get the earlier VVT down the straight, which is when a little vent opens and gets you 5-ish more horsepower.
And Lionel gets P3 under the bridge.
Yeah, so Lionel up onto the podium. And Oscar's made a lot of time up in that one lap. And Peter's also got them past William Eriksson. Then it's Fredrik Lindholm who's got them back past Christian Lovén, William Isaksson, Gustav Berglund, Kalle Svensson, Enzo Collin, Jonathan Nylander, Sixten Sandgren, then Devin Grabko. Further back, Selina Hessman and Johan Warland. And then we have, I think that is Max Stjärnelund after his early spin. We can see Oscar wrestling the car in the final corner. And now Andreas has a bit of a gap, but I think that toe is still working for Albin's effect. So a bit spread out now. Now once again, this time Christian opts to push Fredrik on the straight instead of overtake.
Yeah, so Christian has really great pace here.
But as we said, slipstream working against Andreas and 4 those behind. The group is now back together despite being spread apart on the straight. And it's Andreas, Albin, then Lionel, and then we have Linus Stjärnelund. Oskar Mellstig is now basically in the fight as well. Pete Norbeck making a great race in P6 behind that. And then we have William Eriksson P7. Fredrik Lindholm P8 now with a bit of a gap to Christian Lovén. And then William Isaksson loses it on the Maurice corner, but he saves it. Great car control. Got a big snap at the exit, but saved it. Went onto the grass and saved it.
Yeah, very difficult to hold on to a Aquila car when it's about to spin, but really great job there.
I know he's quick on the reactions, but now we have to focus on the lead battle once again. Albin Gustafsson now staying behind Andreas this time around. Lionel is behind, and then Linus, and then Oscar. And then Pete Norbeck has pulled away a bit from William Eriksson in P7. And then Fredrik Lindholm is now catching up to the P6 group. And then you have William Isaksson dropping back 2 paces. Both Gustav and Kalle Svensson passed after that dirt on the tires that he got from the snap. Yeah, Oscar is now right with them. So top 5 now for the lead battle. Olin's corner, one of the trickiest on the calendar, at least on the track.
Yeah, so Oskar Mellstig has now joined this pack of 5, and he'll be hoping to make some positions up on the straight here. Into the last corner, very important corner in the last corner to get a great exit onto the front straight here. But yeah, Scatterboy is under pressure here, as you can see.
Yeah. I think Pete Norbeck made a bit of a mistake in the last corner. He'll drop time to William Eriksson, and that means Fredrik Lindholm and Christian Lovén is going to catch up behind as well.
And Oskar Mellstig on the inside, under the bridge. Will he hold on to that?
No, he has to slot back in. Linus Stjärnelund has the great overspeed under the bridge. But fast and stationary at the front for the moment. They are all biding their time for the final few laps when this will be decided. And then Oscar sends him the dummy. Linus Stjärnelund dummied by Oscar, but Oscar has to slot in behind anyway. So close top 5, and then we have another group forming for P6 fight. It's William Eriksson at the front of it at the moment, and then we have Pete Norbeck, Fredrik Lindholm, and then Christian Lovén. Fredrik Lindholm have a bit of a moment, sliding on the exit. And then we have Gustav Berglund, Kalle Svensson, then Enzo Collin has made a few positions up, and then it's William Isaksson, Devin Grabko, Sixten Sandgren. Then we have Jonathan Nylander's drop back, Selina Hessman, followed by Johan Warland and Max Stjärnelund closely. Now we see them side by side.
Yeah.
Oscar trying once again, Albin trying on Andreas. And then we have 4 cars in nothing. It's Pete Norbeck who's going to be the big loser in this, I think. It's Fredrik and Christian on the inside, Pete on the outside.
As Scatterboy tries to hold on to the lead, but will he hold it? Yeah, he holds on for now. Gustafsson is right behind him.
The 3 wide going into the tunnel back again, but one of them backs out. I think that was Oscar. Lionel, the loser in that battle. So Linus from P5 to P3. And Albin Gustafsson still behind Andreas Scatterbo. Scatterbo showing his experience. And then Christian Lovén has gotten passes now up to P6. So he's on the P19, don't forget. So definitely one of the most impressive guys this race so far. And then William Eriksson has dropped down into P9. Now once again on the straight, Lionel has a good run on Linus this time around. He's very close in the exit of the last corner. Can he make a move or he's going to stay behind and use the slipstream instead? Yes, he stays behind. And Oscar's dropped back a bit. He will need to gather his pace back up and catch up. Pete Norbeck making a move on Fredrik Lindholm under the tunnel again.
And is that Linus trying to make a move for P2?
I think it is.
It's on the outside.
Outside is going to get the VVT earlier, which means we'll have the run down to the...
But Scatterbo gives the slipstream to Gustafsson.
But no, Linus is ahead, it seems. Yes, he is. So it's Linus' new second place. It's a great couple of laps for him. So Scatterbo Motorsport 1-2 at the moment. And then Albin Gustafsson, Lionel Skår, and Oskar Mellstig, Christian Lovén, Fredrik Lindholm, Pete Norbeck, William Eriksson, Gustav Berglund, Kalle Svensson in one group as well. And there we see Devon Grabko is off in Molin's corner. I couldn't quite catch what happened, but I see he's off in the gravel. Is he stuck or can he get going again? Because if he can't, this will be a slam dunk safety car and neutralize the race. He's still stuck.
Yeah, we didn't quite see what happened there, but he's stuck in the gravel. We'll see if we get it out in time, or if there's going to be a yellow flag or safety car.
He is lodged into that gravel, Richard. I don't think he's getting out of that one.
Yeah.
So no damage, I would think, but stuck, and you can't get help from the marshals to continue going. If you can't get out on your own, race over.
Yeah, so for now, just a yellow flag in this sector.
I think they want to see if he can get out himself, but it's only a matter of time before this is going to be a safety car.
And we have a big gap between P3 and P4 now.
Yeah, where is... Yeah, safety car is out, safety car is out. We're going to neutralize the race. So...
Yeah, and only 3 minutes on the clock, so it will be interesting to see if we get another lap here.
They are quick around this circuit when it comes to getting the car away from the track, so I think we'll have at least one more lap of racing before we go to the checkered flag.
Yeah, so hopefully they can just tow the car into the midfield here.
Yeah.
But yeah, not quite sure what happened there. Molin's corner is a quite tricky one. The car lightens as you hit the crest there, and you normally get a little bit of an oversteer there. And if you get too much of it, the overcorrection is too much, and then you spin off. So yeah.
I know there were two cars or other around in William Eriksson and one more. Just a tiny touch, the tiniest touches on that crest, as we talked about. It's tricky. Slight nudge can be the difference between making the corner and not. So
yeah, the surface is quite uneven as you turn right down there. So maybe that unsettled the car. We don't know now.
But either way, Devon Grabko was making positions up from his crash yesterday, and then stuck in the gravel here in race 2. So he will be at the back in race 3 as well, as it seems, because the points haul from the races has been abysmal.
Yeah, and Oskar Mellstig in P3, who will for sure want to be back at the front, like competing for the first place. As we said, he lost P2 yesterday due to the contact with Christian Lovén.
Yeah, I also know someone who's in P5 and licking his lips. His name is Christian Lovén, and he's right behind. And this safety car opportunity could be the big opportunity for him.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see Oskar Mellstig and Christian Lovén fight side by side, considering what happened yesterday. But for sure they will probably show respect to each other on track.
And Devon is out of the gravel, so they're gonna do a slow in lap to make sure the truck gets off the track and get the last lap board out and have one final racing lap.
Yep.
That is my prediction.
Yeah, as you can see, 40 seconds left on the clock, and they just passed the start straight now. So this isn't the final lap that they're heading out on now.
No, the next lap is going to be the final. So they're going to go slow this lap, make sure everything is cleaned up, and then give them one more last lap to settle this dispute of who's going to be on the top of the podium.
Yeah, and 19 hungry drivers on this grid will be hoping to make positions up.
And yeah, Christian Lovén just 2 spaces behind Oskar Mellstig is an interesting one.
Yeah, you can see Devon Grabko. He looks very, very unsatisfied with this result, as you can see. Heartbreaking to, end the race, especially when it comes to like the last minutes of the race. Yeah.
He had a great qualifying yesterday. P6 career best. Made okay start, dropped down a few positions, was in P9.
And we'll see if the safety car will switch off the lights here.
Yeah.
quite sure we will get one final lap.
Yep. So Andreas will be leading the way.
Lights off.
Lights are off. We will have one final lap to decide this race 2. It's Andreas Skattebo, Linus Stjernelund, Oskar Melstig, Lionel Score, and then Christian Lovén, Fredrik Lindholm making positions up this race.
And it's all about the restart now for Skattebo. As we can see, yesterday he made a quite early get-go, and the drivers catched up into the first corner, so maybe he will launch a bit later now.
Yeah. Grid still not really warmed up. Christian Lovén with a gap. I think he should be closer if he wants a shot at this podium. And Andreas goes earlier this time around as well. And Christian is going to be caught napping. He is not going to have a chance against Fredrik Lindholm with a toe behind. But who is going to win this? Oskar Melstig wants to make a move on Linus Stjernelund at the very least. He's on the inside. Christian Lovén has been caught sleeping. And Pete Norbeck down the inside of Fredrik Norbeck. He backs out of it. And Christian Lovén is the loser. And there's a crash!
Pete Norbeck is around.
Pete Norbeck and then Max Stjernelund. And he's going very fast into the first corner. And Kalle Svensson and William Isaksson fast approaching. I don't know if anyone got stuck, but I know at the very least there was a lot of spinners.
And Oskar Melstig now in P2, but too late to catch up to Andreas.
Yeah, unless he does the best last sector of this track ever done. Andreas has this in the bag. Christian Lovén has weathered the storm behind, as it seems.
Oh, and on the inside there.
Yeah, Fredrik Lindholm and Gustav Berglund side by side. They had contact yesterday. Will it be again? No, Fredrik yields. But then Gustav Berglund has a snap on the exit. Does he make it? Can Fredrik counter into the last corner? No. It will be Andreas winning the race, but what's going to happen behind that? It's Oskar in P2, Linus Stjernelund P3, and then Lionel Score P4. Christian P5 after a mighty recovery drive. P6 for Gustav Berglund, P7 for Fredrik, who lost it right at the end. P8 for Kalle Svensson, P9 for William Isaksson, P10 Sixten Sandgren, the rookie. First weekend ever in a race car. 11th, I think that was the Hessman, career best must be. Kinnekulle P12. Pete Norbeck is jet to cross the finish line, as it seems.
Yeah, so P10 for Sandgren, what a race for him.
Yeah, he did his first ever laps in a car with the shifter and the suspension and everything Friday morning. He's actually borrowing my helmet for the weekend, and P10 now in his second ever race. I think that's very impressive indeed.
Yeah, can't be too disappointed with that result.
Yeah, Christian Lovén though and Oskar Melstig might recover the drives from them both. Oskar P2, Christian P5, which means he will have a top position in the start grid for race 3.
Yeah, and race 3 is determined by the total of the weekend. So Christian went P2 in quali, and then P19 in the race.
Yep.
And now P5. So yeah, he will be in the top group for sure. And Skattebo taking 2 for 2 now.
Yep. He won't be able to take the Grand Slam, but can he take the hat-trick this weekend? It's Andreas Skattebo who wins the second race. Oskar Melstig in P2, recovering from P8. Linus Stjernelund P3, Lionel Score P4. Christian Lovén P5 after a mighty recovery drive. Gustav Berglund P6, Fredrik Lindholm P7, Kalle Svensson P8, William Isaksson P9, Sixten Sandgren in his rookie weekend P10, Stina Hessman career best at P11, Kinnekulle P12, William Eriksson P13, dropping back after his 4th position on the grid. Pete Norbeck have that spin on the last lap. P14, Johan Wahlan P15, keeping it cool, calm and collected. And then P16, Jonas Rolander. Max Stjernelund, Albin Gustafsson and Devin Grabko didn't finish. And yeah, we didn't catch when Albin retired, because that was when Devin spun.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that. Lionel and him Lionel was a long way back, and he was missing. That's all we know. So we'll get back to you on that one, but for now, thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us this last race of the weekend later this afternoon.
Yep.
I'm sure it's going to be a thrilling one, and you don't want to miss that one. So thank you for joining us, and goodbye.
Goodbye.